Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite cool toned eyeshadow palettes. I've been getting quite a few requests to do this video, but when I started getting requests, I didn't have that many cool tone palettes. It was still all about the warm tones, and I went through my collection like, dang, I have 3 palettes and that's it. So I have finally gotten enough to actually do a video, and I have quality palettes here, ones that I definitely would suggest, not ones that are just thrown in here for you guys to have some ideas. But I have definitely been more on the neutral cool tone train recently. I've really been feeling it, so I thought now is the time. I have plenty of palettes to talk about. They are top notch, so let's go ahead and get in with the best of the best, and we all know that it's Pat McGrath. I have 2 very different options for you, same type of packaging. One is the larger at $125 and one is smaller at $55. And just so you guys know, I'm not swatching every single one of these palettes. I have reviews and tutorials with almost every single one of these except for I think 1. So I will link those down below. So if there's anything that you're wondering, oh, I want to see the swatches or information on, I will have all the videos linked down below. So don't worry. Let's start off with this bad boy. So again, this is from Pat McGrath, and this is the Mothership 1, and it is called Subliminal. And it's funny because this is the palette that I didn't want. I think this is when my love for cool tones actually started, was with this palette, because I had originally picked up the green palette. The outside box was green, and I thought that was going to be my absolute favorite. I ended up picking up the other 2, and this one became my favorite. And as you can see, it's definitely a cool toned palette. Like all these shades over here are either a matte or like a satin type of finish, and you can do a very easy go-to. Like you can do an eye like this with this palette, or something more dramatic like with these beautiful, oh, these shades over here, this special shades. Those type of shades are only in the larger palettes, but that's what I love about this, is that you can get something very dramatic or something more subtle. And these are like the best shadows on the market, in my opinion, the best shimmers and the best mattes. She takes the cake. So this again is the Subliminal number 1, the Mothership 1. And let's move on to the second one. These mini palettes were based off of the original 3 Motherships, and this one is Subliminal Platinum Bronze. And now this one doesn't have the packaging, and then the palette inside, it's all in one. And then you have this little sheet, tells you the names, but this is what this palette looks like. And this one leans more on the purple, brown, and silver cool tones, a little bit darker, a little bit deeper. You can still get some lighter looks with this palette, but I personally like this for the darker, more sultry kind of cool tone look here. And so beautiful. Next up is not technically a palette, but basically it has the same type of effect, and it's from Milk Makeup, and this is the Gunmetal Stack. Let me separate these. So you get a mirror in here, and then 4 other shades. You get a silvery metallic shade, you get a dark bluish gray shade, which is metallic, and the first one was metallic as well. And then you're also getting this slightly purple dark gray matte, as well as this. Oh, this shade right here has a little bit of that blue tone to it, but this is the gunmetal shade, and that's exactly what it looks like. So if you're looking for the drama, where you can have something a little bit lighter, because if you pack this all over the lid and then use the shades on the outside corners, you can get something lighter or something very dramatic with the darker tones. This works so well. Melt stacks are beautiful. I love the quality of them, and their shimmers are so beautiful. Next up, I know you guys already knew this was going to be in this video. This is the Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. There is 1 warm tone in here, but this is basically what I have considered to be the best beginner palette for somebody who wants to go into cool tones without being like terrified of them because like this palette that I will show you can be a little scary to somebody who's not very comfortable with cool tones. This can lean more neutral or more cool, and I just think that this is the perfect palette to start off with. I love all of the shimmers in here, as well as the mattes, and the mattes blend out really well. The quality of this is impeccable. I've done looks with this, and again, I've got a review, I've got swatches and everything. So the Anastasia Sultry palette. Next up, this one's kind of funny because when I first got it, again, I was on the I want everything to be warm train. I wanted the most warm eyes you could possibly get. The more orange, the better. The more copper, the better. So when I picked up this from Viseart, this is the number 7 Cool Matte. There's another version of this. I don't know the differences. I think the other ones just pop out. There might be a difference in the quality or in the texture, colors. I'm not sure, but I know there's a version 2 of this. This is the first version. So when I first got this, I liked it, but I didn't use it very much because it was so cool toned. Now I'm so glad that I have it because it's an all matte palette. I love the Viseart 12 pan all mattes, and this is stunning. I love that you have a range of the grays, a little bit of blue, purple, and pink in here, so you can get a little bit of a variety. But for somebody who likes that all matte look, this is the perfect palette for you. Next up, I have one from Huda Beauty. This is the Smoky Obsessions. I love this palette. This is one of the best bang for your buck palettes you can get. I think it's $27. You're getting 9 shades in here, and look at this. This is stunning, and it works so well. Out of all of the ones that she has released, this one and the mauve one are like everything. And then the amethyst, of course, but like these work so well. Look at this silver. Look at it. Oh, so good. So this is kind of, it almost looks like a mini sultry. So let me put it side by side. It does. It kind of looks like a mini sultry palette. So this one, if you wanted everything in it, I think it's 45 and this one's 27. But this is more of an on-the-go palette. It has 5 metallics in here and then 4 mattes, and this black is a great black. This is a great bang for your buck cool tone palette. How many of you are waiting for me to talk about this? How many? Come on. This is up there with my love for the Pat McGrath. Like obviously the Pat McGrath is a little bit better quality. I like this one more than I like the mini, but not more than I like the larger one. But the color scheme in here is so great. I get asked all the time, like this or the Huda Nude, and I'm like, they're not the same at all. I can't compare apples to oranges. Like this is a cool toned, like everyday palette. Yeah, you've got some purples in here, but the other one is purple and nude mauves and just like a little bit of warmth in there as well. I just feel like they're not the same. This palette is everything, but it is limited edition. Currently, it is available, but I don't know, like if you watch this video 3 months later, I have no idea. But this is the Kevyn Aucoin Nude Pop Palette. And again, one of the absolute best cool tone palettes that you could possibly buy. If I was going to pick one cool tone palette to suggest, price, quality, everything into consideration, this is the palette that I would suggest for you, unless you just happen to want more of the blues instead of the purples and stuff like that. But just overall, for me, if I was going to pick one to just suggest to the mass, it would be this one. Now I have 2 more. This one leans slightly more on the neutral side, but I still consider it to be neutral cool. And this one, again, is an all matte palette. If you missed out on the Tarte Aspen Ovard and you really wanted that palette, or you wanted something just slightly darker than that one, or all mattes with great quality, great pigmentation, I absolutely love this. And this is from Hourglass, and this is the Myth palette. These are the graphic eyeshadow palettes. So these are great quality. I almost put Vista in here, but I think that one leaned, it was a little bit more neutral. it was too neutral for me to decide whether it leaned neutral cool or neutral warm. So I decided to just stick with Myth, and this is one of the best ones you can get if you just want an everyday palette. You don't want to do anything with shimmer. You don't want any like pops of color or anything. This is an impeccable palette. And then lastly, what I have on my eyes right now, and this is a little bit of a cheat. I will swatch these on my fingers real quick because I definitely know I don't have a video out on this yet. I've used this 3 times, so I feel like I can put it in this video, but it is a new purchase for me. So this is the Venus XS Extra Small in silver. So again, this is what I have on my eyes right now. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I have to have that. It's perfect. Like, it's tiny. It has 4 shadows in here. For those of you that get overwhelmed when you have too many options, there's 4 shadows, 2 mattes and 2 metallics. You can't really mess this up. It's perfect. They got a light transition shade, slightly darker for the outer V. You've got a slightly darker shimmer and a slightly lighter. Like, you really can't mess this up. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this on my fingers. And I talked about how I was not interested in Lime Crime anymore. There was some shady stuff in the back in the day, in the back, in the back of the house somewhere. But they have a new CEO. I saw this and I was like, okay, this might be the turning point. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna purchase this and feel it out. These are the 2 mattes, and you can see like this matte right here is the slight purple looking gray that you see on me. On me, this does lean just slightly purple. And you can see a little bit of mauve, I think, in the pan there. So those are the 2 mattes, and then the 2 shimmers. I used both of these dry on my lids. If you wanted them to be more metallic, you could definitely go in with them wet, but those are it right there. And I believe this guy retails for like 20 bucks. All right, you guys, that is it. Those are the ones that I would recommend as far as cool toned eyeshadow palettes go. If I'm missing one that you think is absolutely stunning, please leave it down below. I would love to know about it because I am definitely on this kick with some cool toned looks. Like, I absolutely love them. Obsessed with them right now. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if it was helpful. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.